Welcome to another edition of Startup with Poland. Today, our deep dive is looking at the food and agri-tech sector. My name is Tessa McIver and I am your host. So my guest, who you'll shortly be meeting, is Ewa Karolewska, Project Manager on Startup Support at EIT Food. On a daily basis, Ewa is supporting innovations in the food and agri-tech industry in the whole CEE region. She's an expert in sustainability and has a wealth of experience behind her in consulting in areas of climate tech and sustainable strategies. So let's meet Ewa and find out more about the current state of the agri-tech industry and what path led her to her current role. Ewa, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here with you.
Well, I'm very excited that you're here. And to get started, please tell our listeners, what actually does EIT Food do?
Well, I will try to tell it in a simple way because we do a lot of and we are present all over the place. So our main goal is to transform the food system via innovations, so that the healthy and sustainable diet is available for all. So it sounds very, very simple, right?
Yeah.
But it's not that simple, as we know. So we are looking at the innovation gaps and we are trying to tackle those innovation gaps where we have a feeling that we can have the biggest impact and we can bring about the change in the food system. We are supporting entrepreneurs, we work with innovators, we are supporting commercialization of innovations. We work with educators and education systems, with students, we work with consumers, we work with big companies, with startups, with R&D centers, with academia.
Wow.
Yes, because
so many different organizations involved.
So as EIT Food, we focus on three main missions because we want to have an impact, we want to measure impact, we want to tackle those areas where we have a feeling that we can really influence.
Okay.
First mission is healthy lives for food. The second one, net zero food system. And the third one is resilient and fair value chains.
Okay.
So as you can see, those missions are kind of broad. They cover a lot of, but also if you look at content of those missions, it's more specific. On top of those missions, we have also some very specific areas that are cross-cutting and they are across all those three missions. But we have a feeling that they are very important, that they can change a lot of if we intervene in those themes. First one is called regenerative agriculture. I don't know if you're aware of this concept of regenerative agriculture.
More or less, but explain, I want our listeners as well to understand. So please, explain for us.
Okay, so it's another concept of agricultural practices. It's in a very short way, in a nutshell, it's aimed at regenerating the soil.
Okay.
So we are not only producing the food and looking at the very short-term impact, but we are looking into the future. And you work on the landscape, you are changing something, but you are thinking as well about maintaining this and even improving the system that you are operating in.
Okay, so it's really sort of about thinking long-term, about ensuring the quality of that soil, about,
Not only this, it's not only environmental aspects, it's also looking at the social aspects very much, at the situation of the farmer, because the farmer is at the core of the whole system. Yeah. And it's also looking at the health aspects, so also the nutritious values, for example, of the crops, of our products that we are eating and buying every day. Another cross-cutting theme is protein diversification. So we are looking at supporting all those solutions, innovations for protein diversification. We are trying to change a little bit as well the regulatory landscape, influence this.
Okay, wow.
So we are running a think tank, a protein diversification think tank. And we are producing different papers and, for example, white paper on protein diversification, policy papers. And we are trying to influence as well decision makers on those topics.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes. Another one is packaging. We are also working with actors from the food sector, but not only from the food sector, also with the producers of the packaging, towards innovative solutions when it comes to packaging in the food system. It's a very big topic. It's a very difficult topic. It's a challenge. So there is a lot to do. So we are inviting as well stakeholders who are interested in this theme to join us and work with us together on this one.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I can already imagine that there must be so many different stakeholders that you're bringing in to actually, work on these all, incredibly important and yet very big topics.
Yes. So we are inviting, as I said, we are inviting everybody who is present in the food sector. But I would like maybe, since the theme of the podcast is Startup with Poland, I would like to mention our amazing portfolio of startups.
Oh, please do.
Yes,
please do.
We've been working and supporting startups for many, many years. We are supporting startups on a pan-European level where folks from Poland can join the cohort and they can work with startups from other places in Europe. And we are also supporting startups in our region and in south of Poland on very specific gaps where we see, okay, look, there is an amazing potential here. We have so many innovators, but maybe they don't have opportunity to test the solution in real life.
Okay.
For this, for example, we have Test Farms program where innovators can come and test their solution in live on the farm, and they will get the feedback from the farmer. And at the same time, the farmer can have a look and see the opportunity firsthand, not the opportunity, but the innovation firsthand, and maybe he can embed this innovation into his practice.
Yeah, so he may become an actual customer in the future.
Yes, so this is like we try to tackle all those different issues and topics that we see in the region and support startups with this. Another one is, for example, a gap between academia, research and business. So we see that there are amazing research teams. They work on groundbreaking solutions, but they not necessarily know how to operate in the business environment. They don't know how to approach in investors. They don't know how to speak with big corporations who will be their customers. They don't know much about the market. So we are matching those innovators, researchers with people who are more business oriented. For example, serial entrepreneurs, right? They work together.
Fantastic.
Yes, amazing things.
I mean, because, I've heard from many different sectors, that this big problem of existing, that you've got the fantastic ideas and, brains, but actually without the business know-how. And then often you have the opposite, where you've got somebody who's fantastically business-wise, but maybe comes up with things that are not necessarily
matching the customer.
I mean, that sounds like such a great initiative. So, really fantastic
but there
work.
are many more. We are also supporting.
I'm all ears.
We are also supporting, for example, women entrepreneur. We see that there is a gap, that there is a problem. The whole landscape of investing, VCs, and so on is dominated by men. That's the best. It's changing slowly, but the investors who are men tend to invest more in startups that are led by men. So we are supporting as well a women entrepreneur to enhance them, to help them grow with the idea and to push the idea further in the business. We have an amazing portfolio of women entrepreneurs at EIT Food in our region, not only in our region, because also we have a lot of women-led startups at our pan-European level. So this is one of our focus areas as well. So we try to bring changes, as you can see, in different areas, not only food, but also the whole landscape around the innovation in the food sector.
Yeah, no, incredibly impressive. I love the topic of, food because it's relevant to everyone.
Yes.
There are some other topics that are relevant to some, less to others, it's not always possible to grab everyone's interest in every topic. But actually with food, every single one of us needs to eat.
Of course.
And the awareness, I suppose, is growing and growing in the fact that actually you are what you eat, right? So with health issues that actually transcend from a little child eating unhealthily.
Yes. That's why we are working as well with the youngest ones, but also we work with those who are working with the youngest ones. because we believe if we work with the food educators, then we can have a very tangible impact. Maybe not now, maybe not in a month, maybe not in a year, but in a couple of years.
You need to sow those seeds.
Exactly. Yes. So we see this exactly this way. And also we work with the consumers. We try to understand the consumer. We have the EIT Food Consumer Observatory, where we are running different surveys and we are asking the consumers what they are thinking about different topics.
Fantastic.
And what is driving them. Because if you understand the customer, then you can understand as well, when I'm able to change the behavior of a person, if I'm able to change the behavior, if I'm really doing the right thing. So it's very nice that we are checking as well with the customers those things that we are doing. And
certainly. Well, I'm blown over because I knew, a lot of what you are doing, which I was already impressed by, but I didn't realize there's so much. Really impressive. But Ewa, what is the current state of the food and agri-tech sector in the region in Central and Eastern Europe?
We need to acknowledge, of course, that the region is very much agriculture driven. Agriculture sector is very important here. We are producing as well a lot for our region, but we are also exporting a lot of food. So the agriculture sector is traditionally very much influencing what is going on here. We have a lot of solutions in the agri-food sector, but we have also a lot of solutions coming when it comes to the novel food, when it comes to the protein diversification and more techie things,
Okay, so the protein-based meats and so on.
Yes. Protein-based meat, we have really very advanced solutions already in the region. Of course, they require a lot of investment, a lot of time, a lot of work, a lot of patience. So a lot of, patient investors as well who are looking at this long-term perspective, but they see that this is an amazing opportunity and once it will be a mainstream consumption. So once, imagine in, 10, 20 years, you go to the shop, you grab a product and basically you see one of the ingredients of our startups there. Although nowadays it's, a lot of work in the lab, but it will be a mainstream one day. Coming back to the landscape and the situation, what's going on when it comes to the innovations, when it comes to the investments, of course, we know that the situation when it comes to funding is not great, right? So 2022 was the time when the investment was
dried up.
Yeah, exactly. This is a great opportunity for the public sector now to step in. You have great solutions. You have a lot of great solutions that are on the seed level or maybe before even the seed, they are in the labs. So if you come with public funds and you help those solutions to grow within those couple of years, then you can see great returns when investors will be a little bit less conservative in a while. What is great when you look at the agri-food tech sector in the region, you can see that the percentage of startups in the whole population of innovators and startups in the region has been growing. So at the moment, it's at the level of 4.6%. It's a little bit less than globally or in Western Europe, for example, but it's kind of similar and it's going this direction. So this is what we are very happy to see at the moment. Investment, as I said, it has been growing gradually until 2021, and then
although this was the same for all sectors, unfortunately, so it had the knock-on effect.
But startups but there are still new solutions coming to the market, and also there are more and more investors looking into the direction of agri-food tech. So in the past, it was a topic that was considered kind of, everything related to food, agriculture was more like conservative. And it was kind of difficult topic that required a lot of experience and knowledge and expertise in the stream. And now we see that this trend of investment in all kind of ESG topics, green transformation, clean energy, and
people
so on.
People are so much more open.
Yes, and this is really helping because some of those investors are looking at everything green and food. So agtech, food tech is also there. So I'm very happy to see this change as well and the growing interest. Also, the European Investment Fund is investing in this theme. it was announced, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago that European Investment Fund is going to invest 40 million euros in a fund that will invest in ag-food tech in our region, in Central Eastern Europe and in the south of Europe. So I'm very happy to see,
Great.
those things there. It will take time, of course, because as we said, it requires expertise. You need to really think like long term. You don't work on an app or something that
you can have out next month or whatever.
Yes, but the impact will be massive. And
Ewa, are there any particular solutions that you've come across that are your absolute, personal favorites, not for any reason other than somehow they speak to you,
Yeah, there are so many. I was thinking actually, yes, there are many, but I will focus on some of those that are representing things that we are doing and we like to support at EIT Food. EIT Food, by the way, is also an investor. So we are investing. You can call it smart money. Those are not very big tickets, but this investment means a lot to startups. Anyways, let's come back to the question about the solution and startups. One of the examples is EcoBean.
Okay.
You've heard.
Yes.
You know EcoBean for sure.
Marcin is going to be one of my guests in the upcoming editions.
Really? Amazing. He's a great speaker and he has so many stories to share.
So our listeners will hear, in big detail from him in a few episodes' time.
Okay, so I will not reveal too much about EcoBean, but I will just say that they are working with the everyday product, coffee.
Yeah.
Have you had coffee today?
I have had coffee today.
How many? One or
two.
more?
I've had two. I've been not too bad. I've had two.
So where is coffee? There are coffee grounds, right? And EcoBean is working with coffee grounds, and they are trying to extract all valuable chemicals and things that are still in the coffee grounds.
Yeah.
It's amazing because it's not just thinking, very simple, let's just take this and use it as a fertilizer, but it's really like trying to valorize this waste and take all this money that is inside waste and bring it back to the loop.
Yeah.
So EcoBean is one of the startups. Also, of course, we are supporting a lot of startups that are dealing with innovative solutions for the agtech, for farmers. And we have, one of them is called Ulmana, is a startup from Czech Republic, and they have a solution that is based on AI. This is why I wanted to mention them, because I know that there's a lot of hype about AI, and we are saying, well, AI, we are going to use it in 5-10 years, it will be everywhere, but it's already here.
Yeah.
It's been used, and our startups are working on those solutions. So they have a AI-based weeding equipment that you can attach and you can use on the field. It's getting very, very popular, and they are as well they are expanding to other markets. Another solution, IO. Have you met IO? Right, you met them at our event.
I have, yes,
right?
Yes.
So IO is working with the sawdust.
Yeah.
And they are using the sawdust and they are extracting, again, everything valuable from this. And they are working on the solutions that will replace the traditional oils and fats that are very often not sustainable. Everybody heard probably about the palm oil.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have startups that are working on those solutions. It's really groundbreaking, and you have to think like it will be basically in each single product in the future that we will consume.
Ewa, tell me from a bit about your personal story. What actually got you into, the place where you are right now in your career?
I've been at sustainability field already for around 20 years or something like this. Yeah,
Okay.
It started, actually, it's funny because it started when I went to be a volunteer on an organic farm in Belgium. So it was long time ago. I even don't remember when, or I don't want to mention this. So I started this way. Then I got really passionate about sustainability. And you can imagine, in Poland, that time it was not a mainstream topic. It's not like this, not like today that you go and you see, billboards and sustainability, green that, green this.
Yeah, it was a real niche.
It was a niche, and it was like we were seen as a group of, like activists going and talking about fair trade, sustainable consumption, ethical consumption. I used to work in the public sector where I was responsible as well for sustainability projects and programs. And at the same time, I was very active in an association that I established together with a group of friends. And we were working and we were focused on all those different themes. So at this time, I was very much exposed to the world of private investment, VCs, PE, and all those things. So it was something very new to me. At this time, I was thinking, oh gosh, this is something that I have to, the new thing that I have to learn. It was kind of in Poland at this time also a new topic. So I was lucky, that I was always involved in things that were like the future, let's say, or the very beginning of something. Then I left Poland. I was for a while in Austria. I worked for an organization that was focused on energy efficiency and renewable energy in emerging and developing markets. So it was again something, like innovations, energy, international work and things like this. Then I left and I was for a while in Dubai. And I worked there in a social enterprise focused on sustainable development again. I did a lot of consulting work. I did a lot of big campaigns. I did a lot of work around, as well, like launching innovations on the market. And then I returned to Europe and I started looking for like opportunities that would basically connect all those different dots from the past. And here I am. So I work on innovations, I work with investors, I work with big companies, I work with startups, I work with sustainability, I work with the future. So
really a perfect match.
Yes,
that brings in all those different elements.
Perfect. This is really like very funny because sometimes, in life, you are just changing things. You don't have always this drive and you don't know always, I want to be there one day.
You don't have the big picture.
And this is where I am. Yeah. I am today where I should be and where I really like to be.
Well, that's fantastic, Ewa. Now, just to finish off, I want to hear from you. If you had a crystal ball, I love, some crystal ball gazing. If you had this ball and you were to look, I don't know, 5-10 years into the future, well, let's say 10 years.
Yes.
What do you think will be the state of the food and tech sector?
For sure,
what will be the biggest hit?
Yes, for sure, it will be very important and even more important than today. Today, it's a very big topic, but it will be even more mainstream. It will be present everywhere. Diversified proteins, so all those things that are at the moment tested, bioreactors and so on, will be more and more present.
So the things what you said before, that we'll go into the shop and find the solutions on the shelf.
We'll find those solutions on the shelf. Sometimes we will even not know that they are there, because it will be so common that basically they will be one of the ingredients. Instead of the palm oil, you will have another ingredient. Circular economy. For sure, we will have more and more solutions. They will be scaled up and they will be used on a larger scale in different places as well when it comes to different waste streams and so on. AI, we have to mention AI because AI is
the buzzword of the day.
It's a buzzword, but it's already present, but it will be more present. Companies will use it for sure to improve efficiency, for sure to see what consumers will look for. Just to see, like if this ingredient, for example, will feed the selected group of consumers, precision farming, all bio inputs to the farm, for sure they will be scaled up because there is a massive discussion, hype around regenerative agriculture as well, and this is the way to go. So all biostimulants instead of synthetic ones, for example. Everything around energy efficiency, and also things that are related to the human resources and human work. At the moment, we can observe already that there is a problem. Companies are saying, we cannot find people, who will work, collect, for example, strawberries or do something else in the factory. So there will be a lot of solutions that will help with this issue as well.
Okay.
This is how I see this. I see this on one hand, I know that there is a lot of to do, that the impact of the food sector is really vast, but I see that there are solutions. We just need to take those solutions, we need to scale them up, and we need to make them mainstream. So a couple of years, patient investors, understanding investors, injection of public funds as well,
And support from fantastic organisations like EIT Food, right?
Yes.
Who really also give that mentorship, guidance and expertise. I think that's, really key to the whole equation as well.
Yes, and I would be really happy if we could meet in those, I don't know, like 5-10 years and see.
Well, let's see
what we discuss, because I may be wrong about all those things, because we have to take into account that we are living in a very complex environment, with many different factors. So,
well, Ewa, I'm going to put it in the diary after this call, for us to watch back this, this discussion.
Amazing.
And let's, analyse, what's indeed happened. But I'm sure that on many fronts you are going to have been absolutely spot on. And probably, I'm sure there are some innovations in the sector that will appear that, none of us have even thought of yet.
Yes, so, exactly. So there are people who are working on things, that we don't understand even, because they are so complex and they are so much, looking into the future, not into the current situation and this time.
Exactly. Ewa, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing, your expertise, your insights into what EIT Food does, your predictions for the future. And, let's keep the conversation going and let's see, indeed what the future brings.
It was amazing. Thank you very much, and see you somewhere else.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you, Ewa.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And thank you to all our guests. See you next time on Startup with Poland.